Hello and welcome back to the Stained Canvas. Today we are kind of doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a painting, and if you'd like to paint along, feel free to grab the following colors, and you can always listen to the colors and then pause and then rewind the video. So the colors I'm using today for this painting, we're doing a Christmas bauble, and I am starting with the background, and we have Payne's Gray, Indigo Blue, Titanium White. There is also a Hooker's Green because I'm working in acrylics. I am also using Naples Yellow, a Lemon Yellow, or Primary Yellow. They both work great. And then a Cad Red. And these are all hues, right? They're just a medium Cad Red is like all we're gonna need because we're actually just mixing it with some of the Naples Yellow later on to make some of these forms. So what we are painting is a Christmas ornament, a green Christmas ornament. And the background is bokeh background. So if you don't know what bokeh means, it just means when your background in a painting or photograph is blurry and all you really see are the little blurry lights. So I originally just drew out the sketch of the reference photo, and I got the reference photo from the photographer off of a reference photo site, free to use. So I was like, oh, okay, this is a fantastic Christmas paint along if you'd like. So yeah, all I'm doing right now is filling in the background, and I'm going in with my Payne's Gray, and I'm not doing a solid Payne's Gray. If you see, I just picked up some of that indigo, and I want it to be splotchy. So I want to see some more of the indigo color, some more of the blue, and then some spots I want to see more of the gray. And all I'm doing now is the background. So it's going to be kind of a blotchy, dark background with little highlights of the blue. I am just going to continue on with the painting, and then once I'm finished more with the background, I will pause the music a little bit and get back into explaining what I am doing next. So yeah, I will just get on with that, and all we're doing now is filling in the background. So in this area, I'm being very careful. Um, well, in all the background, really, I'm trying to be very careful and go very gently around all of the shapes. I'm trying to remember what the shapes are going to look like as well when they are painted. And just continuing on, not all the shapes will be circular. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. Also, there's going to be some of these circle bouquet shapes that are connected together. So I have to also remember um, where those are as well. So that's all I'm doing in this area here. And I'm just going to continue on. It's a long process, but this is in real time painting. So if you're following along and things like that, it takes time to make a good painting. And I feel like it's so worth it when you get all the details in and you take your time doing as best as you can. So, yeah, I will get back to the music, ambient music, a little bit of classical, and we will get back when I do something a little different. So around this bauble, I'm trying to be very careful as to not get into the bauble or into the ornament, because I really have a lot of detail. I have a lot of sketching inside there. The ornament is actually going to take the exact same amount of time to paint as the background does, to be honest, because there is so much more intricacy in this ornament. And if you've followed along and are continuing watching or have this in the background, just with the music playing, thank you, because I know it is long and I could have fast forwarded through all this boring stuff, but if you're painting along with me, right, it's nice to know that we're going the same speed or something like that. And I always find it's nice to see an actual painting develop in real time. But again, if you guys want to speed this up, you can always 2 times the speed on your whatever device you're listening to, be it your phone or computer or whatnot. But if you see me here, I am painting just above the bauble, like that. I always call it a bauble, but it's an ornament. So I'm just being very, very careful where I'm touching. And again, there's no black. It's all Payne's gray and indigo blue. So we'll get back to the music and I will get back to you guys in a couple more minutes. As I finish up the background over here on the right or left side, you'll notice that it jumps automatically right here where the top corner is already colored in. All that is some Naples yellow and a little tiny bit of cad red to give that yellowy rusty color. And then to do the bouquet background, you want to have really fuzzy edges. Like none of the edges are going to be super crisp, unless they're kind of crisp on purpose, if that makes sense. But they're never going to be like, there's always going to be kind of a fuzziness to the background because your eye, as you're painting this, you're painting it super fuzzy so that your eye is just focused on the Christmas ornament. Right here, I'm just mixing up some of the titanium white and some of the Hooker's green. And we're just going to go in and start filling in some of these different colors. So if you notice in the background, it's mostly yellows, and then there's some green. And then the green is really important for the Christmas ornament part. But for the background part right now, there's just like a few little green spots. And also, like when you're going in, like see here, I'm just adding a green circle, because you can add these circles wherever you want as well. And if you overlap a circle, so kind of like what I'm doing here, I do 2 green circles, but then I'm going to go in and lighten the first one. So the first circle is going to look much brighter than the second circle, what I'm doing here. But when you have these shapes overlapped, it really does also help add a little bit of depth into the background, even though everything is super fuzzy and everything is not focused. So most of the rest of these bouquet dots are going to be Naples yellow, cad red, and then the mix of the two mixed up together to create different hues. So it's like this one here, it's more Naples yellow than cad red. So you'll notice it's a lot more yellow than the top corner one. And I'm making sure there's some fuzzies, right? And then this one, there's a little bit more cad red into the mix. So you're going to try and mix up several different colors with those same colors, but you want them to kind of all be the same, but kind of all different as well. So yeah, this is me trying to dirty up the edges of this one. So I do add Payne's Gray to some of them. So like, do you see how it just brought the hue right down and really did fuzz up the edges? So you'll see me doing that quite a bit, kind of dirtying up the color, if you will, with some of that Payne's Gray. But it really does push the color back when you do that, when you're adding your gray, because you're making it into a tone, right? So yeah, like see how that pushed that bright yellow or bright orange right back into the background where it belongs. So I'm just going to continue on with the other bouquet bubbles, bouquet dots, and I will let you guys go back to your classical music, and I will talk back at you guys in another minute or 2 or 4. I don't know when. I'll come back to you guys when the more of the bouquet is done, the bouquet background. All right, so in this bauble here, or this background bouquet thing here, I am just doing superimposed bouquet sparkles. But you'll notice here I have some lines. So I'm making a line here as well. Very faded yellow, because something in the background is reflecting a straight line. If you notice on the other side of the page, on the right side of your page here, I have that too. I did that in the very beginning of doing the background. And it's just, you can't really focus on it because you can't quite tell what it is, but there is something straight in the background that is reflecting all this beautiful light. It's probably like a railing reflecting the Christmas lights or something like that, but you kind of add it in and it adds very much in, like a lot of interest, because most of the background is the circles. So once you add those straight lines in, it's pretty amazing. Now all I'm doing at the top corner here is it's just some yellow ochre dirtied up with some Payne's gray, making it really fuzzy. I'm even going to go in with my fingertips, okay? Because I start painting with my fingertips actually in like 1 second, because the easiest way for me to like fuzz up the background is to just spread it out with my finger. So I do this quite a lot. I'm doing in the orangey zone where I picked up some of this orange, and I want it to look different than the rest of the background, but I don't want it to pop. So that's why you just continuously adding some of this orange in, and you'll see in 1 second here, I'm going to just drop the brush and pick up, yeah, here we go. We're just gonna use my finger to spread out all this paint because why not, right? I actually do it again and I add more later on. I'm gonna add some blue and some more of the orangey color, spread it around with my fingertips because, you know, you just get into it. So I'm going to finish up these dots, and once I get to that dot up and the left side that's not colored in just yet, it's going to be a blue one, and that's really when I get into painting with my fingers. But I will let you guys get back to the song, get back to the music, and I'm just continuing the background, fuzzing up the edges, that kind of thing. So yeah, same old, but it really is neat to see a process happen like this. So, and here I'm adding the white, but I'm just mixing it on the paper. So yeah, I will get back to you guys in a second. Yeah, and this is where I really just start blending with my hands because why not? Why not get it going on in there? And it's easier to blend out, to be honest. Like you can just easily wipe off your finger and go in with a wet fingertip and then just take off some of the paint too. But yeah, I find it easier for me to blend in and make fuzzy backgrounds. Oops, I got some white there. Make fuzzy backgrounds with your finger. It's like finger painting, but I mean, this is, you know, new age acrylic paint, so it washes off. It's not anything too toxic for you. I don't know if I would do this with oil paints, but you know, it's acrylic I'm using today, so it washes really easy. So I'm just mixing up some indigo and some titanium white and lightening up some of those splotchy background colors. And yeah, this is all I'm doing. I'm finger painting right now. I'm going in with the, you know, cad and the ochre mix and trying to brighten up that spot where I tried to do with the earlier paint brushing. Yeah, so we're gonna get into the Christmas bauble part. And the first part I do for the Christmas bauble is I put in all the darks. So we're literally going in with Payne's Gray, same as I did with the background. And to be honest, it's gonna look a little like what is happening. But once the end comes around, like once I continue adding the different shapes and the different forms of it, it really does turn out quite nicely. I'm very happy with this painting. But yeah, you'll see me putting in just the Payne's Gray, and then the green. You would think it's a totally green bauble, but with the strategic placement of the green, because to be honest, most of this bauble is the Payne's Gray, but with the specially placed green circles that I've put in, it looks like it's a fully green bauble. Or I always say bauble, but it's an ornament. But yeah, yeah, you can just keep watching if you like, and I will probably talk back to you guys again. Maybe. I don't know. This is a very weird video, guys, honestly. And if you're watching 30 something minutes in, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about me. And yeah, I will probably pop back in here by the end of the video. Okay, so this is just me mixing up a couple different greens. So mostly I would like a middle tone green. And it's just like the hooker's green and titanium. And then once I have that green, all those highlighted spots, well, most of those highlighted spots, that's like a fourth of this ornament. That's the only part that's green. But because it's shadowed and stuff, it just looks so neat. It just blows my mind how art works. And yeah, I'm just going in with the green paint in all these spaces here, all these rectangular, circular spaces, and it doesn't really look like much just yet, but once we start adding in the sparkles and a little bit of the yellow and some of the highlights, you can really start to see this thing coming together. And then also once I start doing the connection, like where the string is on the top of the ornament there, once that starts going in, it really does look very, very nice and kind of really real almost. I like this. I like it. But yeah, there's only like a little bit of green in this, and it's that circular part right there and a circle around the back or around the edges. Um, but yeah, I just find it amazing how this works. So this part here, coming up in 1 second, is when I start adding the shine. Right here in the middle here, I'm using yellow ochre, and this is where the shiny reflections kind of come in. This part here is where it really starts to look real, when you're adding all those brighter bits and the reflectiony bits. And if you notice, I'm kind of trying to keep it messy-ish. I'm trying to just mix it on the page itself, because what we're reflecting, what we're trying to see in there is kind of not really visible, but it's still brightish. And once I start adding the white dots, I go in with and I do like a side swipe over top of that green little blob right there. That starts to make it look like it's a shine. That's like the camera flash or whatever from the person taking the picture, right? And then I'm also going to, not just yet, but kind of towards the end of the video more, you'll notice me putting all the little tiny sparkly dots. So that's the reflection of the Christmas tree the bauble is actually sitting on. Not the bauble, the ornament. And that's like the reflection of it. And this light here, the white that I'm adding to these little shapes here, is also reflected from the tree that it's hanging on. So there's probably some Christmas lights really close to it on that one side there. And then I'm just adding the little sparkly bits, all the little fun details that really make it look alive. I don't know if that's how you say it. It makes it look more real, all the sparkly bits. But yeah, I'm starting to really, really like how this is turning out. All right, so you see here, I have started adding a little bit red, a little bit of a reflective red color from something that's red hanging just beside the Christmas ornament. And the red is just cad red mixed with a little bit of the Payne's gray and a little bit of white, because we're trying to tone that thing down. We're trying to shade it up a little, like dirty up the color, because the red is reflected off of a green ornament. So it's not going to be bright red, right? It's going to be kind of this more muted red color. And you'll see I've started adding some of the little white bits and things like that. The white speckled from Christmas lights reflected off of the ornament. And here's what I mean. It's a toned down red. It's not super vibrant, but it shows a red color. So we're just going to gently follow a little bit along the ball, but kind of also make it seem straight, like I've split it, right? So the top part follows kind of a straighter path, and then there's a fork that kind of goes a little tiny bit past the, like along the inner circle there. And then we're just adding in some of the lighter greens, some more white, just to brighten up this area. And then pretty soon, I'm just going to be adding some of these sparkles. Just a little bit more of the red color over here, just reflected and like reddish green. And it's starting to look so fantastic. Love this painting I did. So yeah, we're just gonna get back to the music. All right, so now we are adding in the biggest sparkly reflective Christmas sparkles. I don't know how to explain it, but it's the reflection from the Christmas lights on the tree this bauble or this ornament is hanging from. And if you notice, the longer reflective ones, I am curving it. So I'm not just making like this up and down line. For the longer reflective lights, you have to try and follow along the curve of the bauble or the ornament. And that's kind of what I'm doing now, because you think of it, the ornament itself is a 3D form. So you have to think about following that 3D form. So these reflective lights are going to be a little elongated towards the shape. Like it's not going to be up and down, right? So just keep that in mind if you're painting along. Follow the shape of the 3D form. And oh my goodness, once you add all these sparkles, like look at it, it's just amazing. It looks so real. And yeah, I just love this so much. But yeah, this is my Christmas ornament. I hope you guys liked it. I just have a couple more little things to do on it. A little more sparkly bits, and then I'm going to peel the tape off, and that's it. That's the hour-long painting. Thank you guys if you're still watching, you guys are amazing. And I really can't believe you're still watching. But Thank you so much. Have a fantastic new year. And I hope you guys, have a fantastic holiday season. And I will see you guys next time on the Stain Canvas. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends about me. So, bye for now.